Welcome in, everybody. We are at McWhorter Stadium in beautiful Clemson, South Carolina for Game 2 today between the Furman Paladins and the 25th-ranked Clemson Tigers. Mark Childress here with Dr. Megan Bunning. Game 1 was a shutout win. Game 2 was a shutout win. 12 in a row now for the Tigers. They're red hot.
Yeah, I would say that their offense and their defense is functioning on all cylinders. And how about that pitching? No earned runs.
Yeah, it's been fantastic so far. And it started last night with Game 1, and the story of the ball game was Valerie Cagle in the circle.
Yeah, once Cagle found that low strike right there, she just went to town and hammered it all the way to a win.
And I think I said hammered on the broadcast last night. I'll say it here as well. Marissa Gombarda hammering the walk-off home run. One hop into the moat. 8-0 Tigers in Game 1. And then earlier today in Game 2, Tigers doing it with the bat. Valerie Cagle with the double and an RBI. Grace Matamore single and 2 RBIs. And then Cagle again.
I think Valerie Cagle's just going to be one of those names that is a thorn in opponent's side. She was on point all last night and today.
And you see the 2 box scores. Again, 8-0, 5-0. Can't get a whole lot better than that if you're a Clemson fan. And they're looking to sweep the series right now here in Game 2 today and run that win streak to a school record 13 games. And look who it is. How many highlights did we show from her in the opening? 19, it seems like, and Valerie Cagle will be back in the circle, and I can't imagine the Furman Paladins are too excited about that.
Yeah, imagine that. It's Valerie Cagle. So she's going to throw in the high 60s. She's kind of up, down, throws a little bit of everything, off speed. The thing with her is she hits her spots and fields her position very well.
So a 30-minute break in between these 2 ball games. It's like the crowd has stuck around. Beautiful day for softball. Mid-60s, a little breeze. Sun hasn't quite broken through the cloud cover yet today, but it's been very nice. And leading off for Furman will be the catcher, Natalie Morgan. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Is there any changes, Megan, that Cagle needs to make? I'm guessing the answer to this is no, because she was lights out yesterday, but they've seen her before now, so I'm guessing they've talked about it and at least are attempting to make some adjustments. That ball's hit to left field. Diving catch in left field for out number 1. What a way to start Game 2. Abby Stewart with the full extension. Goodness.
Yeah, I didn't even have a chance to respond. I mean, I think you said it, is that, Furman has seen Valerie Cagle for a full game now, and they need to make some adjustments, and I think they already are with the touch that you see there. But when you have a defense like that, it's going to be tough to find the green space.
Hashtag SC Top 10, I'm just saying.
Just saying. Tigers
have made it on there before this season. It could happen again. Fouled away, strike 1. Well, some fireworks here on the defensive side to begin Game 2. Ashley Likens digs in for the Paladins. Boy, that could have been disaster. She's running up through the box and has the inside pitch. You see her smiling. She somehow stayed out of the way of that one.
And you can see she did not want to take a Valerie Cagle curveball on the inside to the hip. Cagle's she can hit that upper 60s mark, so sometimes we can see her hit that 67. That's not something you want coming off a hip bone.
Now she's behind in the count. 1-2. Cagle had the complete game shutout, 6 innings the first time out. Had her completely fooled there for strike 3, and the first strikeout of the game for Valerie Cagle.
Cagle does a nice job. This is a good look at her rise ball. She starts that up in the zone, just too much for Likens to handle.
Number 22, Emily Bartlett.
Emily Bartlett stands in. She had one of the hits in the first game for the Paladins. There have not been many hits or many base runners for Furman this entire series. They would like to change that early in this game.
When Furman's coming out aggressive, the first 3 hitters so far have swung at the first pitch. from Valerie Cagle. They know she's going to stay around that zone, so it could force Cagle to mix her game up just a little bit on that first strike.
Misses the inside corner there. Kevin Gramig has moved behind the plate for the final game of the series here. So Cagle's got to figure out how he likes to call the close pitches. Loses that one low. 2-1. Cagle. Low again, 3-1. So lost the handle on the last two, it feels like. Wants to close out the first inning 1-2-3 if she can.
Looks like she's having a little bit of hard time coming in on Bartlett.
Ball's hit to short. Fires over to first just in time. 3 up, 3 down. Let's take one more look at Abby Stewart's diving grab for the first out of the ball game. What a catch. Off to the bottom of the first, no score. Tigers coming up in the bottom of the first, and they will be facing another freshman pitcher, the right-hander Shelby Basso.
Yeah, so Basso is actually coming off of the concussion protocol, so she hasn't seen a whole lot of action. We look for her to be very similar to Tufts that we saw in game 2 prior to this game. She's going to be in that low 60s, up, down, curve, and change is what I expect to see from her. So Clark, Gilstrap, and Cagle set to lead off for the Tigers. Same top of the order that the Tigers used in game 2 of the series, game 1 earlier today. First pitch hammered into left field. One pitch, one single. That's exactly what the Tigers wanted to do to start this game. She led off the first game earlier today with a single as well. Came around and scored. You can see Basso just leaves that pitch on the outside corner up in the zone. Anytime you're going up in the zone on the outside to a hitter, that can get in their extension path, right? So they can easily get the barrel to the ball. For Furman, it's going to be important for them to keep hitting those spots so that their defense can set up appropriately and can defend the ball. Furman is very much a pitch-by-committee team.
Ainsley Gilstrap takes one just outside. She had a couple of hits, scored a couple of runs in game 1 earlier today. Tigers got 3 runs in the top of the first in game 1. They'd love to duplicate that or get even more here in game 2. 12-game winning streak for this team. That one's low, 3-0. Shelby Basso is working her way into some trouble here.
That was a nice stop by Furman catcher Natalie Morgan. You've got Clark on base. Morgan did a great job with that changeup in the dirt, shifting to her left to make sure she kept the ball in front, kept Clark at first.
Misses outside. This is exactly how game 1 started. Mackenzie Clark led off with a single, and then Ainsley Gilstrap walked. In game 2, the same exact thing has happened.
Like Morgan just wants to calm Basso down just a little bit.
I don't blame her.
Yeah. I mean, Furman, their goal is to try to get the leadoff hitter of any inning out. If you get that leadoff hitter out, it significantly reduces the chance of them scoring. But I tell you what, the Clemson 1 through 4 particularly has been tough for Furman pitching.
So Cagle has been swinging a hot bat here already today. Takes strike 1. She had 2 doubles, 2 RBIs in game 1. And hit them both hard and hit them both to left field. The 1 pitch to left field. That one's going to go foul, so she's behind in the count, 0-2.
You can see Basso's really going to her off speed versus Cagle. I think that's going to be a key for Furman. We saw Tufts from Furman do that in the first game, and when she was able to hit her spots and keep it outside and she was successful with it, I think we're going to have to see Basso do the same.
So Cagle behind 0-2. That one bounces up there, gets away, and the runners will advance. So Clark goes to third, and Gilstrap goes to second. I'm going to guess that's going to be a wild pitch. And that one kind of bounced up and ate her up. It would have been tough to get in front of that and stop it.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely wild pitch there. That's why you didn't hear me argue.
Yep.
If I had had any.
As a former pitcher, just hearing the words wild pitch probably gives you the shakes. But so runners on second and third now. So if Cagle could get a hit, would score at least one Tiger, maybe two. Cagle hits one up the middle. It's going to get through, and exactly what I just said. One run is in, 2 runs are in. Tigers are up 2-0. A single and 2 RBIs for Valerie Cagle. She is red hot today.
Again, and we saw her do this in the game before, just a pitch outside. I mean, the pitch was out off the plate pretty well, and Cagle just got her bat out there and got it.
So it doesn't get any easier now with Marissa Gombarda stepping in for the Tigers. First one bounces up there. Good job that time by Morgan to keep it in front of her and keep Valerie Cagle at first base. Gombarda, the former Paladin, admiring the work there. Morgan did a great job. Could have gotten away from her.
Yeah, Morgan's all over those pitches back there.
That one misses outside, 2-0. And again, eerily similar to the first inning. Cagle had a double and an RBI the first inning. Gombarda then walked after that. So 2-0 on 2 hits early for the Tigers. Now 3-0 for the to Gombarda. 2 walks in that first game. Shelby Basso. Misses outside. And that's her second walk of the inning. And more trouble for the Paladins.
And we saw this in the previous game as well, where they're really trying to respect Furman's pitching, is trying to respect Gombarda's power. But at the same time, I mean, you have no outs. At some point, you've got to attack and give Gombarda a bat and see if she'll hurt you. Just stay on the corners.
First pitch misses outside. That's 5 straight out of the strike zone. Abby Stewart. Already the defensive hero of the game with an all-world catch to start it off.
Yeah, that was a great catch.
There you go. Basso gets one in there for strike 1. Maybe that'll settle her down a little bit. Furman a little bit over 32 miles up the road from Clemson. These neighbors know each other well. That was on the outside corner, strike 2, a really good pitch there. So 2 Tigers on base, 1 and 2 to Stewart, bounces up there. Morgan with another great play. And fires one down to second. Be careful there. Count remains, count is now 2-2. So Cagle on second, Gombarda on first. Stewart at the plate. 2 Tigers have already touched home this inning. Bounces up there again, full count.
My goodness.
Yeah, Basso is struggling with her to keep the ball over the plate right now.
She's struggling to find that zone, but I just cannot get over how well Morgan is doing behind the plate. I mean, she's being put to the test early.
So the payoff pitch from Basso. Stewart hits it short. They get the lead runner over at third, so a good defensive play, Fleming to Fabio for out number 1.
Basso just leaves the ball a little bit too sweet over the plate, but nice. Force out right there at third.
Fleming didn't hesitate at all. Kegel's got some pretty good speed. Was not a close play at third. So 1 out now, 2 runs in for Grace Matamore. Matamore swinging first pitch, fouled over towards first. And a fantastic grab over there by Ludlam over her shoulder for out number 2. That's a tough play. And especially kind of coming out, it looked like it might have come off the end of the bat, so that ball was really knuckling in the air. She made that look easy.
Yeah, and that's a big out for Basso. Now you're sitting, suddenly, because of 2 good defensive plays, now you're sitting at 2 outs, where a second ago you didn't have any outs.
First pitch outside, Aaliyah Logaleo. Freshman, third baseman. She did have a single in the first game. Would love to extend the inning here for Clemson. Hits one to second, flip over to short, and Shelby Basso calms down and does a good job of getting out of this inning with no further. Wally King in his 4th season as Furman head coach, trying to get his Paladins on the board here in the 2nd inning, down 2-0.
Yeah, Coach King has been around the game for a long time, has had the opportunity to work for the current Olympic team or USA coach, Ken Erickson, down there in South Florida. Well known in the area. He's really trying to get his Furman Paladins this year to have a pack mentality. So they're not going to focus on results. They're going to focus on each other in the process. And they have to understand they have to be strong individually so that they can work together.
Ludlam hits the first pitch to Matamore. She's got to hurry. Beats her to the bag. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the 2nd. We saw this when Kegel pitched yesterday. I believe only 2 balls even made it to the outfield grass. They had a couple of singles, one a kind of seeing eye single between first and second, and then a bloop over the second baseman's head. Everything else was either a strikeout or on the ground in the infield. Keeping that ball low. Greco swinging first pitch. Tough play for Logaleo. Fires past first base. It's going to go all the way into right field. Gombarda has trouble getting a handle on it. She's going to try to go to third now, and she'll make it. So the ball went, 40 feet? And the errant throw has Greco all the way over at third base.
When you see Greco just got enough of the bat on this low outside pitch by Kegel. You see here, great pitch location. It actually looked like it hit the plate, which would still be fair. And Logaleo tries to come up and make the throw on the run across her body, which is a really tough throw to make. She probably should have eaten that.
Yeah, so that's probably going to go down. It hasn't been scored yet, but I'm guessing that's going to go down as an error on Logaleo. Gombarda had a devil of a time down there in right field trying to come up with the ball as well that allowed for another additional base. We're going to have a pinch runner coming into the game. That's Marina Griffin.
Pinch running for the Paladins at third base, number 2, Marina Griffin.
Now, Greco's worn out there going all the way to third base, and they're putting a pinch runner. I know that's not the reason, but she did have a way to go. So the Paladins haven't scored yet in this series. They were shut out in game 1. They were shut out in game 2. It would be a huge lift for them if they could find a way to get Griffin in from third base. Claire Gender steps in to try and do that. Infield in for the Tigers. First pitch fouled away.
And this is where it becomes about execution. So you get your runners on, and then how can you manufacture that run? And I agree, this would be, if Furman could get out ahead of Clemson in this 2nd inning, I mean, that's big for them. They set a different tone, gives them confidence.
So Gender goes down. Talk to Wally King. I don't think we'll have any funny business here or a bunt or anything like that. You see the infield end, Matamore, Bigham, Gilstrap, and Logaleo. I like the way you said it in game 1, trying to choke out the run here on anything hit on the ground in the infield. Kegel fires one in there. It's going to be fouled away, and Kegel's ahead in the count 0-2.
Yeah, so we're in the second inning, and we're seeing this defense of Clemson already trying to pull in because they do not want that run to score from third. So, to me as a coach or even just as a spectator at this point, that goes to show just how valuable that run could be. I mean, if Furman gets on the board first, that's a situation that Clemson's not real familiar with so far this season. So everything they can to keep that run from scoring.
So Gender was 0 for 2 in the first game. Does a good job of staying alive there. We talked yesterday that Kegel's probably throwing harder than any pitcher that Furman's seen this season because she brings it. So that fastball can be a big weapon. Off-speed high, 1-2. Crowd making a lot of noise. Here the Paladin dugout as well. Good to hear. So Gender, the freshman, trying to get the Paladins on the board. Kegel steps off. Resets. Kegel went 6 shutout innings in game 1. Off-speed pitch, strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Valerie Kegel.
So you can see Kegel really bearing down a couple foul balls here, and that rise ball on the outside corner. I mean, again, we talked about in the first game just how a rise ball is really tough to lay off of. She did a good job of selling it to Gender.
Ball 1 to Caitlin Laudick. Laudick also 0 for 2 in game 1. Freshman from Phoenix. Infield back to regular depth now for Clemson. They're not still in. Ball hit to short. It's going to be off of Gilstrap's glove. And the first run of the game for the Paladins and the first run of the series for the Paladins scores. So a big moment for Furman to get on the board and cut that lead in half, 2-1. I think even if Gilstrap would have fielded that cleanly, there's no way she would have gotten the runner over there. And a good job by Matamore. The throw was errant, but Matamore got over in front of that one and blocked it to not give up the extra base. So the error comes home to roost. And Furman's cut the lead in half, 2-1.
Well, and if you think about it, Greco's the one that scored, and she was put on base by an error. And so when we talked about the importance of Clemson wanting to choke that run off, that's why.
Kegel with a wonderful play on the hot shot back up the middle. Over to Matamore for out number 3. Seen some great defense in this ball game so far. None better than Natalie Morgan.
Yeah, Natalie Morgan was putting on a catching clinic in that second inning. I mean, look at that. The way the first inning, so how she's having to move. She's even getting crossed up on the other side of the plate. I mean, that's hard work. And for any pitchers that have catchers out there doing work like that, you need to thank your catchers because your catchers can make you look really good or not. Good job by Natalie Morgan.
Yeah, wonderful job by our crew of grabbing all that. That's good-looking stuff there. So Jaden Cheek steps in. She got her first career hit as a Tiger, as a pinch hitter in game 1 today. Cheek hits it hard. Diving stop by Fabio from her knees to first base. You've got to be kidding me. What a play.
And Fabio knows it. She has made some really great plays all day today. Glad to see she's keeping that energy. Look at that.
From her knees. From her knees.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about just the core strength that she has to have here, the dive, she has to push herself up and then make the throw there. She's not getting any push from her legs. I mean, that's all upper body and core.
So Casey Bigham steps in. So we had the diving catch in left field by Abby Stewart. We show the great plays by Morgan. Then that play by Fabio. Incredible defense by both teams in this game so far. Casey Bigham, the former Paladin, hits one high to right field. It's going to get over the right fielder's head and bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. Maybe unfortunate there. She might have had a chance at 3, but a double for Casey Bigham. That ball just kept on carrying. It didn't look to me like it was hit that hard off of the bat, but it sailed all the way to the wall.
Yeah, that's just good swing mechanics. I mean, she got lift on it. And that was a great response from, Furman's coming off an inning where they score, so they're carrying that momentum. They had a great defensive play to start the inning, and Bigham did a nice job of just doing her job.
So the Tigers trying to get that run right back that they gave up in the top of the second to the Paladins. Mackenzie Clark has a single already. Came around to score on the Valerie Cagle single. Clark caught in the first game, center field here in game 2. We talk about the versatility of Valerie Cagle. Mackenzie Clark's another one on the roster, and the Tigers have a number of players that can play multiple positions and multiple tough positions.
Yeah, we talked a little bit also about just some of the changes across the board with teams as we're seeing athletes being put into positions that they may not have usually played. I mean, without COVID, now you're having to think about not only injury taking athletes out, but COVID protocols or COVID itself. So, athletes have to learn how to be diverse. And, we talk Logaleo, she was over at third in that first game, and she normally plays outfield.
A diving stop by Fleming. She'll never make the turn, but another incredible defensive play by this infield for the Paladins. That probably saved a run. So Bigham was running on the hit, but she had to stop at third because of the diving stop by Fleming.
And if you're a Furman fan, this is no surprise to you. Coach Wally King talked extensively about how the pitchers have to rely on their defense and let the defense do the work. And so this doesn't surprise me that we're seeing such outstanding defensive plays from the Furman defense.
So Bigham's on third. Clark is on first. She's a speedster, remember, so keep your eye on her for the stolen base. And there we go. Cut off by the second baseman, so Clark easily steals second. So 2 runners in scoring position now. And again, the second baseman just coming through to cut that off, seeing if there might be a double steal in order that would have had Bigham breaking home, but she did not do that. Just advancing that runner into scoring position. That one's outside, 1-1. Gilstrap walked in the first, came around to score a run. She had a couple of hits and scored 2 runs in game 1 as well. She's having herself a day. The ball's in there for strike 2. So Gilstrap behind in the count. Shelby Basso worked her way out of a jam in the first inning. Hoping to do that again here in inning number 2. Gilstrap hammers one to right field. Just foul. Hit that one a long way. Kept on tailing to the right. Thought it had a chance to either hit the pole out there or stay fair, but it does go foul. We've seen a lot of hard hit balls to the opposite field by the Tigers today.
Yeah, I think Basso's just leaving that outside pitch a little bit too sweet over the plate. But the thing is that Basso now has to turn around and say, that's just a long strike. She's in a battle right now with Gilstrap, and yeah, they're going to hit the ball far, and Furman knows that, especially when they work on that inside corner, but you've got to take it in perspective. All right, I see it, but when it comes down to it, that's just a strike.
And bounces up there. Another great play by Morgan. Just add that to the highlight package we showed at the beginning of the inning.
No kidding. She's definitely getting a workout back there.
Yeah, she's going to be tired after this one. So 2-2 the count now. Bigham at third, Clark at first. 1 out in the inning. This one's hammered down the left field line and foul. So Gilstrap getting her money's worth this at bat. Tigers looking for their 13th consecutive win of this young season. 7th pitch of the at bat here. That one's low. Count is now full. Gilstrap walked her first time up. We got the senior grad transfer from USC Upstate. She's been in this position a few times, I bet. Payoff pitch. Hit high and deep to left field. See you later. 5-0 Tigers. A 3-run homer from Ansley Gilstrap blows this one open for the Tigers. She hit a foul home run down the right field line, hit one really hard down the left field line, and finally kept one fair. That one was about as high, I think, as you can hit a home run, barely making it over the wall in left field.
Well, I mean, honestly, when I saw it leave the bat, I didn't even have to look up to know that it was going to be over the fence. You can see Bassa, she was trying to work in and out there, and Gilstrap did a nice job of, she was behind in the count at one point. She had a couple change-ups and just did a good job of being patient and getting a good swing on that.
So today, Ansley Gilstrap has walked twice. She has 3 hits, a stolen base, a homer, and 3 RBI. And we're in the second inning of this ballgame. So 5-0 now Tigers, or 5-1, excuse me, Tigers. And it doesn't get any easier for Shelby Basso. Valerie Cagle, who singled and had 2 RBIs her first time up, is up again. So Clemson had a lot of opportunities in the last game with runners in scoring position, 2 on, bases loaded, where they did not really convert. That is not the case here in the second inning.
You know,
that's outside 1-0.
I'm sure Coach Rittman had that discussion with them about the opportunities that they had and the lack of execution in some. I mean, you can't say too much. I mean, they still had a really great game for Clemson, but when it comes down to it, you've got to practice the execution in every game, you know, so that when you face the conference opponents in postseason, you're going to be able to do it then.
Down the first base line, that barely stayed fair. Ludlam takes it herself for out number 2.
Right fielder, number 25.
That was right hugging the line. Good play by Ludlam.
That was a good call by U1, Wilson Lesky.
Marissa Gombarda takes strike 1. Marissa, 3 walks today. They haven't wanted anything to do with her, especially after the walk-off home run last night.
Yeah, Furman has definitely pitched around Gombarda in almost every at-bat that we've seen today.
That one misses outside. I'm not sure there has been a ball that has gotten any closer than the outside part of the plate to Marissa in any of her at-bats. Off speed, Gombarda to Fleming. Over to first for out number 3. So inning number 2, a productive one. The 3-run homer off of the bat of Ansley Gilstrap doing all the damage. Tigers on top, 5-1. Coach John Rittman liking what he is seeing so far here today from his Clemson Tigers. Second season as Clemson's head coach, has his team ranked in the top 25.
And Coach Rittman, just a legend in the sport of softball. He's been around the game for a long time, has some national team experience, and is just an all-around good coach. He knows what he's doing. He's good people. He's fun to talk to. So if you ever have the opportunity to talk to Coach Rittman, I highly encourage you to do so.
And you see right there, Tigers 29-0 all time when scoring 5 or more runs. And a mountain to climb if you're the Furman Paladins. You're down by 4, and Valerie Cagle's on the mound. And a Fleming swing and a miss. She had a walk and a single in the first game. So she's had herself a productive day so far. Paladins in all black. Tigers in all white today. That one's low, 1-2. Fleming has played over 110 games in her career as a Paladin. Fouled away. She stays alive. Still 1-2. First meeting, well, first series ever. Obviously, there's 3 games in this series, but first time these schools have ever squared off against one another. Separated by a little bit over 32 miles. Didn't miss by much. 2-2. And Cagle thought she had that one.
Yeah, that was a nice looking pitch. So you're looking for, see how it tailed in there? You're looking for the ball to catch any part of that white on the plate, not the chalk, the white of the plate.
Fouled away.
Of course, as a pitcher, I would love to. I think I actually did get calls where I was catching the chalk versus the plate. Things have changed.
Kevin Grammig behind home plate. He's been consistent so far. I don't think we have any complaints. That one bounces up there. Full count now. Paladin scored an unearned run last inning. First run they put on the board in 3 games of this series. Payoff pitch to Fleming. She stays alive again. Good battle here between Fleming and Cagle.
Fleming's doing a really nice job against Cagle. Right now she's just trying to put any piece of the bat on just to stay alive, trying to protect the plate.
Ooh, that hit everybody.
Feel good. Yeah, you could see it on her face too. I feel you on that one.
Hit her leg, hit Hyatt's leg, hit the umpire's leg. Ball's hit, one hopper to second base. Bigham can't come up with it. We'll see how they score that one, but Fleming's down at first base to lead off the third.
That was a great at-bat by Fleming right there. I mean, she just hung in. And that's really, you know, all you have to do is put the ball in play, make the defense do the work.
We're going to score that one an error. That one ate Bigham up. We'll go back to the top of the order to Natalie Morgan. So second error of the game for the Tigers. First one was costly, giving up the unearned run. That one's right in there, strike one.
That's a look at Cagle's off speed. Actually looks a little fast for me, but I mean, you got to keep in mind that Cagle's throwing in the upper 60s most of the time. There it is. That's a better look. You can see she's flipping this out the back of her hand. She took a little bit more off so she could create the speed differential between her hard pitches and her changeup.
That one misses low. So Fleming's down at first after the error. Top of the order, trying to do some damage for the Paladins. Fleming had that base stolen, I think, even if the throw was perfect. That's her 6th stolen base of the season in 7 attempts. She leads the Paladins.
You can see if you're Coach Wally King, you like that your Furman team is competing. They're not letting the score, they're not letting the past 2 game results get in the way, and that's exactly what you need to do. You've got to fight each and every out, each and every game.
Skied in the infield. Bigham circles under it for out number 1. So the Tigers essentially flawless in the first 2 games that they played with the 8-0 and 5-0 shutout. A couple of mistakes here in game 3 so far. Ashley Likens is up. She struck out her first time. And Aaliyah Logaleo over at third base could just about shake hands with her if she wanted to. She is in, expecting that right there. Strike 1. So with Logaleo cheating in, you've got Gilstrap's got to be very alert to go over and cover third if there is a bunt. So a little chess match going on right now. Let's see what Likens does here.
Yeah, and you can see Gilstrap is shaded over towards third base so that she can get there in time.
Bunt back to Cagle. She doesn't even look at third. She fires to first. Man, Likens is quick down the line. That's out number 2. So that gets Amanda Fleming 90 feet closer. Yeah, she was going on contact there. Cagle never even thought about it, never even looked, and it's probably fortuitous that she did not, because I think Likens would have beat it out if Cagle would have hesitated at all.
Well, and that's about knowing your speed. So anytime you're on defense, it's important for athletes to know the speed on the bases. They know that Likens has that speed. So a ball right back to Cagle like that, she knew that she wasn't going to have much of a play there, so she wanted to get the sure out.
So Emily Bartlett at the plate. A hit's a run. If she can find a way to get one here, but she's behind 0-2. Bartlett 0 for 4 in these 2 games today. Preseason second team All-Southern Conference. Trying to plate a run for the Paladins. One bounces up there, 1-2. Good stop by JoJo Hyatt. Can't let anything get away from you here, especially as quick as Fleming is on third. Cagle just misses, 2-2. Valerie Cagle won game 1 with 6 shutout innings. Had a good weekend at the plate as well. That one's fouled away, still 2-2. Bartlett started her career at Eastern Florida State. Has made her way up to Furman. Look at Coach King here. Easy peasy.
He still got it.
Hey, he does. Ball is hit into left field. Stewart grabs that one for out number 3, so no damage against Valerie. Clemson going for the sweep of the series, trying to extend their winning streak to 13 games. They like the way things have been going so far. They're on top 5-1 with Stewart, Matamore, and Logaleo due up for the Tigers. We've got some great defense in this game. We saw the Abby Stewart diving grab in the first inning. We saw Fabio's dive, stop, and throw from the knees on defense for the Paladins. So we've seen a little bit of everything in these 2 games so far today.
We've also seen, don't forget, Natalie Morgan behind the plate.
That's right.
With her highlight reel that we've already shown.
So 5 runs and 5 hits already for Clemson. Stewart looking to add to that here. The big blow in this game, the 3-run homer off the bat of Ansley Gilstrap last inning. That extended this Tiger lead. Ball is hammered to center field. Over the fence. I thought it was going to hit the top of the fence, but that one got out of here. Solo home run for Abby Stewart. That ball never really got more than 8 feet above the fence off the ground the entire time, but found its way out of the ballpark, and it's 6-1.
When you're talking, that was a changeup from Basso, so it's not like it had the speed on it. So Stewart just muscled. Look how she sat back on that, kept her hands back, got all of her trunk into it, dead center.
Look how low that ball was. We saw one of the highest home runs I've seen, followed by one of the lowest home runs I've seen, because that Gilstrap ball was a moonshot that barely made it out. But both of them count, and it's now 6-1 Clemson. Grace Matamore, the transfer from Army. That one's on the inside corner. 0-1. Haven't seen many called on that inside corner, but she got one there.
And that was a good spot. And you and I kind of started talking about this a little bit. But the strike zone has changed, certainly from when I played 20-something years ago. Not only has the strike zone changed, let's be honest, the whole game has changed, in my opinion. But, you know, back in the day, I would get called strikes a ball off the plate so that that space between the plate and the chalk line, despite what people say, that is still called the river for softball athletes. And that's where we would get that call, and it's just not like that anymore. They've tightened the zone up. They've changed the bats. They've changed the core of the ball to make it more of a hitter's game.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there are so many differences, on top of the fact that I'll just say I used to play in shorts.
Mattamore hits a little pop in the infield, and Fleming grabs it for out number 1. So you would prefer the shorts to the longer pants?
Listen.
I mean, I guess that's what you know, so the answer is probably going to be yes.
So the uniforms today are awesome looking. And for sliding, it's great because trying to slide in shorts was not so much fun, and you had the sliding pads that you had to Velcro on and all that kind of mess. But for a pitcher, I preferred the flexibility that I had in shorts. I don't know that I would have liked playing in pants. Actually, I had to play in pants with pro and didn't like it.
Aaliyah Logaleo might have seen her life flash before her eyes there as she was running up in the box and the pitch comes running inside. So I have a question. Velcro pants that you... So you would get on base Velcro and then you would put on... You would put something on to help you slide?
Okay. So we did not wear Velcro pants.
Okay.
But there was a pad that you would wrap around your quad.
After you got on base?
After you got on base.
Okay.
And then it would Velcro together, and yep, that was your sliding pad.
So you would get on first, and then someone would bring your sliding pad out to you, and you would have to apply it? Mm-hmm. And one on both, each leg?
You make it sound like an ointment.
You need to bring some old school pictures next time we're together in the booth so we can see some of this stuff. You can walk us through it all.
Y'all would get a laugh.
Logaleo hammered to left field. See you later. Home run, Aaliyah Logaleo. Clemson bats are on fire right now. Second home run of the inning. That one was hammered by Aaliyah. Got out of here quickly.
And Basso's not, I mean, she's throwing in the low 60s, if that. And so these balls that are leaving the park, that is pure power generated from these Clemson swings. And I tell you what, if Clemson fans, I know you've probably already figured this out, but Clemson has a lot of exciting athletes to watch, and Logaleo definitely is on that list.
Her second home run of the season, the third home run of this game for the Tigers. Actually, the third home run in the last 7 batters for the Tigers. Jaden's Cheek swinging at the first pitch. Fleming's got a long way to go, but she drags that one in for out number 2. So a home run, a pop up to short, a home run, a pop out to short. Here in the third for the Tigers. Clemson scored in every inning. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 here in the third.
Second baseman, number 2, Casey Bigham.
So down to the 9 spot in the order, Casey Bigham, the former member of the Furman Paladins, has a double in her only at bat today.
I asked Coach John Rittman, I asked him as well, what 3 words would you use to describe this Clemson team? And he said they're spirited, they're gritty, and they're competitive. And I think we've seen that throughout the last now 3 games.
I like spirited. That's a good way to put it. I feel like this team's always got a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm about them.
You know, this is kind of tough for me to say from playing at South Carolina, but Clemson teams are fun to watch. And I see that across the board on many of the sports just because they're so dynamic, and they're so competitive, and there is this aura here in Clemson. Your fans are completely bought in, and it makes it a fun place to visit. Maybe not for opponents, but...
Most of these fans have stayed from game 1 to game 2. Oh, she thought that was ball 4, and it was strike 2, and Casey got out of the box and it even tossed her bat. So do you apologize to the umpire when you do something like that, or do you just ignore him?
Nah.
Nah.
You just grab your bat and get back in the box. Like, okay, so you're looking for, actually, that looked like a good call from my point of view. In the bottom of the strike zone.
Oh, goodness me, Fabio with another grab at third base. We'll take a look at that one again later, but let's take another look at Abby Stewart. Hard hit ball for the home run. It's all Tigers so far. They're on top, 7-1. Clemson on top, 7-1. We've seen some amazing defensive plays in this game. Look at this. Fabio climbs the ladder. Hashtag SC Top 10. I've said that, I think, 3 times in this game. That is quality play from Fabio. Well done.
She's had, actually, you talk about the defensive plays, she's had 3 or 4 of them across both these games.
First pitch right back up the middle. Speaking of good defensive plays, Valerie Cagle, look what I found, out number 1. Hard hit ball. Valerie just reacted. You see Kaya Keller gets in at first base. First pitch, she's making a play. So Mackenzie Greco. She had that slow rolling single where she advanced all the way to third base on the error and scored the lone run of the game for Furman back in the second. Lone run of the game and lone run of the series for Furman. Cagle hits the outside corner, 1-1. Here's Cagle, just right back at her. It looks like she got that with her bare hand.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think, particularly with Cagle and the height that she is. So I'm guessing she's, well, you can probably tell me her height, but point is that when she lands, you know, the pitching rubber is 43 feet away. That's where she starts. So by the time she lands, you can see her plant foot. She's towards the, almost on the chalk line of the front of the pitching circle in that area. So she's 38 to 35 feet away from the batter at that point. So sometimes it is just about reaction.
She is 5'9", for those curious. Yeah, Megan, we had Scott Whitlock in here yesterday, and he was complimenting Cagle, saying that she's not just a good fielding pitcher, she's one of the best fielding pitchers that he's ever seen in his career, that she's such an athlete and does an excellent job fielding her position. We see it again there again today.
Well, and I think, you know, the fact that you see her when she's not pitching, I made a comment about this in the first game. You know, usually if a pitcher's not pitching and they're hitting well and you still need their bat in the lineup, you may see them over at first base or in right field or something. No, Valerie Cagle is in center field. So usually you put your stronger athletes up the middle. So catcher, shortstop, second base, and center field. So that should tell you what kind of athlete that she is. She's just solid. So it doesn't surprise me that she can field her position.
Cagle won the game yesterday. Trying to get another one here today. She's 9-1 on the season. 1.25 ERA. Unearned run she gave up in this game. She had 60 strikeouts coming into this game. She's picked up 2 more so far. Would love to get another one here against Claire Gender. And she does. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Very quick work in the 4th inning for Valerie Cagle. Tigers on top, 7-1, looking to add to that lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning and complete the sweep of the Furman Paladins in this 3-game series. Very young team here with Clemson, obviously, with all the freshmen they needed to start the program last year, but some very key transfers into Clemson. We've talked about Bigham, Pereira, and Gombarda from Furman. Don't forget about Grace Matamore, Ansley Gilstrap, and Bailey Taylor as well. A nice balance between youth and veteran presence that John Rittman has assembled here in this Clemson Tiger team. So Mackenzie Clark It's the first one foul for strike one. Clark has 2 singles. There's a stolen base in there and has scored 2 runs.
I'll say she's doing her job as a leadoff hitter, huh?
She is. She caught the first game. She's in center field for this one. Looking to get something going here in the 4th for the Tigers. And misses outside 1-1. Her nickname is Pie because she used to eat pie before every high school game. That was her thing. I don't know if it was like walking up to the plate eating the pie or if it was an hour beforehand, but that's her nickname is Pie.
You like what you like. I used to eat T-bone steak. That was my pregame meal.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
And they were feeding you well.
Well.
Pregame meal, T-bone steak, whatever it takes.
That's right.
So is that a superstition, like you're on the road, you have to eat it, T-bone steak kind of thing, or?
No, and I'm glad you brought that up because athletes, sometimes we get stuck in is it a superstition / ritual or is it pregame preparation and routine? And so anytime you have something where, for instance, if I thought that if I don't eat a steak, then I'm not going to play well, then that slips into that ritual superstition, which is something that we don't want to get into. But if it's part of your routine and if you don't get it, you're still okay, it's just part of the routine you like, that's different, and that's something you do want to keep doing when you can.
Interesting. So Mackenzie Clark's on base again, this time via walk. Clark had her 13th stolen base of the season when she was on base back in the 2nd inning. Something tells me we might be on the lookout for number 14 here.
Number 8, Ainsley Gilstrap.
Ainsley Gilstrap had a 3-run homer earlier. Clark is such a dynamic athlete as well. Caught the first game, center field. She's played as well, has a stolen base, couple of hits today. Her and Cagle, unbelievable.
And
versatility.
Yeah, that's just another position that you don't normally see going from catcher to center field. So again, it speaks to the ability and the agility of these athletes. I mean, when you're in center field, you are the quarterback of the outfield. You have to have speed. You've got to cover a lot of ground. And so with Clark being behind the plate, now she's got to be quick. She's got to have power. But it's not – I don't see catcher to center field either. So for Cagle and Clark, that just shows you the type of athletes that they are.
First pitch to Cagle is in there. She had a single and 2 RBIs back in the 1st. We'll keep our eye on Mackenzie to see if she's running. Rittman's had aggressive base running tactics all series. Kind of a seeing eye single. Clark throws the brakes on at second, so it'll be first and second with 1 out for Marissa Gombarda. She hit it in a perfect place, and Valley's been hitting the ball to the opposite field well in both games. And Clark really wanted to take third base, but got the sign to hold up at second.
I really like what Cagle did there. That was a changeup from Basso on the outside corner, and Cagle did a nice job of staying patient, not trying to pull the ball. She kept her balance and was able to get something behind it, but she pretty much directed it to that 5-6 hole.
Gombarda hits it in that same 5-6 hole. Clark hustles around for the run. So a single and an RBI against her former teammates for Marissa Gombarda extends the Tiger lead. She hit it a little bit harder than Cagle, but in the perfect location. And Clark got home in a hurry. Tigers now on top 8-1.
Yeah, you can see the upper body strength in Gombarda. Again, that was a pitch on the outside corner, and she was able to pull that through on the 5-6 hole.
So if you're Furman, you want to shut them down here. You don't want to end up in a run rule situation headed into the 5th. This Tiger offense is red hot right now. And in steps Abby Stewart, who hit a home run her last time at bat. Basso 3 1/3, you see right there. 9 hits, 8 earned runs. 3 home runs as part of those 9 hits. Been a tough outing for her. But again, freshman pitching for the Paladins. Lots of learning experiences here this weekend in Clemson. So you've got Cagle on second now. You've got Gombarda on first. Just misses 1-1 to Stewart.
You know, Furman, when you're thinking about their pitching, like you've been pointing out, we've seen 2 freshmen today between the first game today and then this game, of course. You know, they're dealing with injuries too, and they're dealing with their pitching coach, Coach Stacy Whitfield over there. She just joined the team in February, and so you're seeing just kind of a weird situation. They're trying to learn a new pitching coach. They're trying to work on things that Coach Whitfield wants to see happen, and they're young.
That ball hit a long way from Stewart as well. Likens did a good job of tracking that down, and some aggressive base running from the Tigers gets the runners over to second and third. Stewart just missed her second home run of this game. I mentioned Johnson Whitfield. You guys are former teammates together.
Yes, we are. Coach Whitfield has been a well-respected pitching coach in the Greenville area, Greenville, South Carolina area, and it was just a natural fit for her when the Furman pitching coach position came open. But like I said, it was late in the game. I mean, normally you're starting with your pitchers in August, and she didn't get to them until February. So a lot of learning curves with youth and with new coaches.
Kaya Keller gets her first at-bat of the game. She came on and replaced Grace Matamore in the field last inning. Coach Rittman said, Kaya keeps everybody loose. She's got a big personality, keeps it fun.
It was interesting to hear Coach Rittman when he was talking about Kaya and just her personality. He then went in to say, we have an eclectic mix of sorts with athletes because you have your true freshmen, your COVID freshmen, then you have sophomores, juniors, and then your COVID seniors. I mean, it's just a crazy scenario for everybody this year. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of those seniors that stuck around to play that could come back, they're graduated from undergrad and they're working on their master's degree. Yep. Yeah, so I mean, it's a whole different ball game.
So you've got 22, 23-year-olds mixed in with 18-year-olds. 2-2 to Keller. Hammered to center field. Likens tracks that down to end the inning, but the Tigers do push another run across. Some incredible defensive plays, SportsCenter top 10 worthy in my opinion. Abby Stewart, first batter of the game with that play. Chloe Fabio from her knees here, and then watch Fabio climb the ladder on the other one that she had. And then here's Morgan behind the plate. There's Fabio climbing the ladder. They squeezed Natalie Morgan in there, who made 4 or 5 big stops in the first 2 innings to keep runners from advancing from base to base, and a new pitcher in the game for the Tigers.
So this is Emma Whitfield. She's going to be a completely different look from what we've seen so far. She's going to throw in the high 50s, low 60s. So this means that she is a spinner. She's going to throw curve, a rise, off speed, and that's what I got on her. Looking forward to see how she makes it jump. I love spinny pitchers.
Whitfield, the freshman from right down the road in Toccoa, Georgia, Stevens County High School. First pitch in there to Caitlin Loddick is a ball. Check swing was a little high, so it's 1-0.
So just a reminder on the strike zone as it is in this day and time. Anytime you're in the top of the zone, you're looking for the top of the ball to meet the bottom of the sternum. So that's where it needs to cross if it's in that top part of the zone. The bottom part of the zone, you're looking for the top of the ball to be at the top of the knees. And then if you're off the plate, some part of the ball has to touch the white of the plate.
Oh. So Whitfield comes in and misses on 3 straight. She's only thrown 3 1/3 innings so far this season. Cagle, of course, the heavy workload. Spencer and Thompson carrying most of the rest of it. So some good reps in here for Whitfield, but she doesn't start out the way she'd like to, a 4-pitch walk. So Laudick has a single and a walk so far. The pitcher, Shelby Basso, is going to step in.
You can see Clemson pitching coach Kyle Jamison's already coming out to talk to Whitfield, and I think, even with that first batter that she's facing, he sees something in her pitches, probably just needs to give her a little bit of encouragement. I mean, this is a situation where you're trying to get her experience, and again, I mentioned this earlier, that pitchers need to get the experience now to learn how to start a game, also how to come in relief and how to finish games, so that when you get to that postseason conference play and beyond, you're going to have to go with a full staff approach. So this is great experience.
Well, the visit works. She pumps the first one in there for strike 1. So were you relieved when the pitching coach came out and visited you when you played? Were you resentful? Did it depend on the situation?
It depended on the situation. I was more of the pitcher that, I didn't want anybody coming out to my circle. And I'd let them know that with a look, if nothing else.
My circle, I love it.
It was, as a pitcher, that's your space. But you do need to have some time where, occasionally your rhythm's messed up or you're just too much inside your head. You just need that moment to reset and refocus.
Are there times when it's like potentially there that I felt like you were alluding to where it might even be a mechanics type discussion, or hey, I'm seeing something, or remember what we talked about, your pitch thought or something like that to get more back on track?
That's a really great question. So when you're in a game situation, you want your athletes to be in what I call the performance zone. So if they're in a performance zone, you want to stay away from the mechanics and having them think about automatic processes, which they should be in. In practice, that's the learning zone. That's where you're working on the mechanics and going heavy there. So in this situation, maybe it was a cue word or just a reminder, but you're not getting heavy into the mechanics of things because you don't want your athletes, again, going through the automatic processes and slowing themselves down by thinking about them.
Interesting. Very interesting. So Laudick was trying to steal on that last pitch, but it was fouled away. Let's see if she's running again. Faso hits one down towards third. Foul. Couldn't tell if Laudick was stealing or just trying to take a big jump or what she was up to on that one, but Furman trying to get aggressive to see if they can start trying to get back into this one. Basso fouls another one away. So it's interesting what you were telling me from a pitching perspective. What about from a batting perspective? You say you don't want your players thinking about mechanics, but do you not have a swing thought? Or, I've seen Basso step out a couple of times, and she'll take kind of like a little abbreviated half practice swing that seems to me like she's trying to remind herself of the swing plane or something like that when she's at bat.
Sure. So it's one thing to get too caught up into this quadrant of analytical, what should I be doing here, and getting out of the performance zone, right? And thinking too much about your mechanics. It's another thing to have a physical trigger or cue that helps you remember what it is that you need to do. So if she's working on something in particular, I've seen athletes tap their quads to remind themselves they need to load or, whatever the case is. So that's completely different than getting them into a mechanical thought.
So 2 walks to start the inning. Basso is going to come out, and a pinch runner, Chrissy Fleming, will come in for her. And one of the biggest threats, to be honest, of the entire series so far for the Paladins is they get the first 2 runners on. So Amanda Fleming is coming up to the plate. That's her sister, Chrissy, who has gone down to first base. Chrissy has joined the team as a freshman. And Amanda is a senior, so they get to play together. And now they're literally on the diamond together at the same time, so pretty cool there.
That is really neat. I can't imagine what it would be like to play with a sibling. My sister wanted nothing to do with softball, so I wouldn't know what that's like. And my kids don't either.
Well, the Fleming family clearly does. First one in there, strike one. So Amanda Fleming reached via error earlier. Stole second base. That was in there, strike one. Strike two, excuse me.
You can see Fleming's just being patient here on Whitfield's pitches. She check swing on that one.
Was not happy with herself.
No, she wasn't. We'll just stick with that.
Yep. Moving on. Whitfield misses outside. I tell you what, Laudick is taking a huge jump off of second base on every pitch. Basso doing the same. So Furman trying to get super aggressive here, start clawing back in this one. 1-2 pitch to Amanda Fleming. Swung on and missed, strike three. First strikeout of the game for Emma Whitfield, and a timely one at that.
That was a good comeback by Whitfield. We saw her really struggling to find the zone the previous two hitters. She tightened up against Fleming.
So back to the top of the order to Natalie Morgan. Caught the outside corner, strike one. So not a lot of contact being made against Whitfield with the 2 walks and the strikeout so far. That one misses, 1-1. Sun has finally made its way out here at McWhorter Stadium. Cloud cover for most of the day. It's been a beautiful day for softball.
This is the time of year when things start getting very nice outside.
Outside to Morgan. Again, preseason second team All-SoCon. She's really been struggling so far this season after leading the team in batting average, runs, hits, doubles, RBIs, slugging, and total bases last season. Trying to get a few to start falling.
That was a good hold by Morgan. Whitfield started her off with a changeup, which really can mess with that timing, and then went 3 straight up in the zone.
We'll see if Whitfield can settle down here. Get one over the plate. Fouled away. Off the roof and out of the stadium. And JoJo Hyatt's going to go out there and have a conversation with Emma Whitfield. Are they talking signs here? Or are they talking? What do you think they're chatting about here? Particular pitch she might want her to throw, or?
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to tell because I don't know their signs, and really, the catcher's job is to know the pitcher. So what can I say to a pitcher as a catcher? What can I say to a pitcher that's going to get her to refocus? Or, you know, maybe I do need to remind her of something about the hitter that I'm seeing. And that's part of what the catcher does, is they have to know what each individual pitcher needs.
Well, it worked. Strike three looking for out number 2.
So whatever Hyatt said, nice location there on the inside corner, low.
So 2 outs now. So Laudick and Basso walked to start the inning, and then Fleming and Morgan have struck out. So 2 on, 2 outs now for Ashley Likens. Likens running up in the batter's box, swings and misses, strike 1.
You can see by Likens in that swing through right there, the speed differential with Whitfield compared to what you would have seen from Cagle, right? So Likens, her timing was pretty off there because Whitfield doesn't throw nearly as hard as what Cagle does, and she spins the ball differently.
Comes up in the box, slaps at it, fouls it away, strike 2. Logaleo way in at third base. Likens did bunt last time up, back to Cagle, almost beat it out down the first base line. Slaps at that one, foul. Likens hit .515 as a junior in high school, .615 as a senior in high school in that shortened season. That's pretty good.
That is good.
The freshman center fielder from down in Florida. A lot of youth on this Furman team as well. Swung on and missed, strike 3, so she walked 2 players and then struck out the side. We head to the bottom of the inning. Clemson rolling. Tigers trying to complete the sweep of the series against the Paladins here in the bottom of the 5th. If they can get a run across, they'll run rule this one and complete that sweep. And the Paladins bring on a new pitcher. We saw her a little bit briefly yesterday, Bailey Tanner.
So Bailey Tanner is going to throw in that mid-50s range. So this is going to be another change of pace. She's going to stay low in the zone, work her off speed, curve. Occasionally she'll come up just to set the hitter up, but mostly down.
So if the Tigers can extend their lead to 8 runs at any point in the 5th or the 6th inning, this game will be over. Logaleo would love to do that herself right here. Takes first pitch inside, ball 1. She had a home run her last time at bat. Her second of the season. Clemson looking for their 13th consecutive win. High and deep to left field and caught. Another fantastic play by Laudick. Wow, I thought she'd had enough of that one.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a changeup by Bailey Tanner, and again, just shows you the pure speed, power that Logaleo has. I thought that was gone too, but what a heck of a catch. We've seen some really great defensive plays across these 2 games today.
We did, and she did a good job there. You see her sticking her arm out. She knew exactly where she was on the field. That ball hit really hard. Logaleo thought she might have had it too. Well, a very noisy out number 1 as Jaden Cheek steps in. Jaden pinch hit last game and got her first ever career hit as a Clemson Tiger. She's 0 for 2 today in game number 2. Fouled away down the left field line. Cheek, the true freshman from Carnesville, Georgia, Franklin County High School, not too far from here. You mentioned earlier about these freshmen getting reps and getting opportunities. Jaden's made the most of her so far today.
I mean, this experience this early in the season is just going to be invaluable down the road. And it's not only about each individual athlete getting reps, it's learning how to play as a team and get the rhythm for how everybody's going to function.
You talked about the speed differential and the off-speed stuff. That ball took forever to get up to the plate.
Yes. I mean, she throws a changeup around 34 miles per hour,
wow.
34, 35. So, and she's only throwing in that mid-50s. So this is a huge pace change.
Fleming had a long way to go. That's another good defensive play there for out number 2. She runs over into foul ground and drags it in. Anytime you're running that far, they have to reach back and grab that one. Great play by Fleming.
You could see Laudick was over there helping her, which is exactly what you need your left fielder to do. Let her know where the fence is, where she is.
So Casey Bigham had a double earlier and came around to score on the Ansley Gilstrap home run. playing against her former teammates. She was a Furman Paladin, graduated from there magna cum laude in accounting, and her parents had attended Clemson. She grew up a fan of the Tigers and decided she wanted to come and spend her last season here in a Clemson uniform. She's been a big boost to this Tiger team.
Coach Rittman really spoke particularly about Bigham and just says that she has shored up the infield and really given them some depth. You know, they have, again, the COVID, they've had injuries, and Bigham has helped with that. He really feels like he's in a good position because he feels like Clemson does have quite a bit of depth.
It's hit to left field, a long way to run for Laudick, and she grabs that one there. So we are quickly headed to the 6th inning. Emma Whitfield walked the first 2 batters last inning, and then she got it going.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you start an inning off with 2 walks and then come back with 3 straight strikeouts, that's big.
So an inning of work there for Emma Whitfield, and another new pitcher now for the Tigers, Logan Kamall.
So Kamall should look familiar to Clemson fans. She's going to stay kind of off speed. She's developing that. She's more in, out, and up, but she is developing a drop ball as well. So I'd look to see her practice that, low in the zone and off speed.
So Kamall getting just her 2nd appearance of the season. She struggled a little bit against Virginia Tech in her 1 appearance earlier. So she'd love to put a nice inning together here. Kamall, of course, had a no-hitter last season. She also threw the first pitch ever in Clemson softball history, and she was also the first recruit in Clemson softball history. First pitch misses outside to Emily Bartlett. Bartlett's 0 for 2. Kamall misses outside, 2-0. So Kamall had 4 walks in her last appearance in her 1 inning of work. So you know that's been something that's been top of mind for her. She hits the outside corner there, strike 1.
I see this very much as an opportunity for Kamall to just to kind of get back out on the rubber, try to find that zone.
This is outside.
I don't know how she pitches with the mask on her chin like that.
It does look bothersome, doesn't it?
That would drive me nuts. Just let you know she's not focused on it, which is a good thing.
Ground ball to second, over to first. Nice play there by Bigham for out number 1. Well, Bigham had a long way to go. That was not necessarily an easy play, and she kind of had to hurry it because it wasn't hit too hard. So nice play there for out number 1.
And that was a good out for Logan Kamall. I mean, she was struggling to find the zone just a little bit, did a good job of coming back, getting Bartlett to ground out.
Little smile there for Kamall. Riley Ludlam, 0 for 2. Seen that average dip below 300. This is outside, ball 1. She was 7 for 16 with 2 doubles and a homer in the 5 games before this series. Hasn't got the bat going too much today. Didn't mean to. Foul ball. Tigers looking for their 13th consecutive victory. If they can hold on here. That misses outside, 2-1. Looking to go to 16-2 on this young season. The only 2 losses coming to a top 15 team in the country, Virginia Tech. Ball is hammered foul. Evens a count at 2-2. So Hyatt comes out to talk to Kamall. This was an effective strategy with Whitfield earlier. Exchanging some thoughts.
And, you know, again, we talk about the catchers having to know the pitcher, and Hyatt is seeing something from Kamal that she thinks maybe Kamal can benefit from having a discussion about. So, you know, whether that's, hey, we need to get this pitch off a little bit more, or you need to attack more, anything like that.
An effective strategy again. She induces the grounder to Bigham, over to Keller for out number 2. So 2 batters and 2 outs so far for Kamal. Had her really off balance.
Yeah, I mean, that was a changeup out, up in the zone. Probably one that Ludlam wishes she hadn't have swung, but good out for Kamal.
Mackenzie Greco had a single, an infield single back in the second. Advanced over to third on a throwing error and scored the lone run of the game for the Paladins. Trying to keep this 6th inning alive. Kamal working on that gum. Misses outside, 2-1.
I say let
Can you chew gum behind a mask?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, behind the mask you can for sure.
Yeah.
But actually, gum can be a stress reliever. You'll see this with not only athletes like Kamal. It kind of gets that anxious energy out, helps them focus. You'll see it with test taking too, particularly cinnamon gum or peppermint.
Okay. All right, you're blowing my mind right now. So cinnamon or peppermint gum when you're going in to take a test?
Absolutely.
That will help you.
It can help stimulate your thinking juices, I'll say, and then it also just the physical action of chewing gum can help get rid of some of that anxious kind of energy.
I got to start taking notes. This is good stuff here.
Well, I wheel and deal in the mental performance world. So.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Dr. Megan Bunning, a sports psych master's, a PhD in higher education, a certified mental performance consultant. That's why I've been grilling you with questions all here in this second game, just trying to learn.
Hey, I can talk about the mental game all day.
Swung on and missed, strike 3, so Logan Kamal comes in and takes care of business in the 6th. We'll take one more look at that one as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tigers trying to close out. So taking a look back at this one so far, the Paladins did scratch out a run. Caitlin Laudick with the single to score Mackenzie Greco for their lone run of the ball game. Then the big blow, a 3-run homer from Ansley Gilstrap. Abby Stewart didn't hit it very high, but she got it out of the park. And then Aaliyah Logaleo, a home run of hers. So 3 home runs, 8 total runs for the Paladins, or for the Tigers, as they lead the Paladins 8-1. So 8 runs on 9 hits for Clemson, 1 run on 2 hits for Furman. We're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. If the Tigers can score a run of any sort, they will walk this one off and complete the sweep of Furman. Mackenzie Clark hits one foul. She has singled twice, stolen a base, walked, and scored 3 runs.
And we talked about just how effective she is at the top of the lineup for Clemson, at least this series. I mean, she's been pretty lights out.
And her stolen base was the 13th of the season, which leads the team. Wow, there's that really slow off-speed pitch. You could have almost swung at it twice. It took so long to get up there.
Yeah, so keep in mind, Tanner's only throwing in that mid-50s, so her changeup's coming in about 34, 35, which is just, that's the slowest you really want to go. But, I mean, it's tough.
You saw her double clutch it, and she was still in front of it. That's how long it took to get up there.
She back. She did. There it is again.
Clark gets a piece of that one. And a good play by Gender for out number 1. That's the first time they got Mackenzie out this ball game.
Well, and you have to hand it to Bailey Tanner. She's not faced any extra hitters so far. She had a 1-2-3 inning and then comes out still strong against Clark.
All pop-ups as well. Well, Logaleo hit one to the track in deep left field, but the others were all off-balance pop-ups. We showed you Ansley's 3-run home run back in the second inning just a minute ago. That one misses outside, 1-0. Crowd is stuck around here for the remainder of this second game. Still making some noise, having a good time. There's that off speed again in there, strike one.
It's nice weather, and yeah, I was just going to say, I think we're going to see this a lot from fans around the country, sticking it out as long as they can, as long as they're allowed in the stadium, because everybody is just so thankful to have softball back.
And also to get out of the house. You mean I can go sit outside for 5 hours in a beautiful day today and have a good time? I'll take that.
Exactly.
I'll take that.
Which is the beauty of an outdoor sport, right?
Yes.
I mean, it was a year ago. It was a year ago Thursday when Clemson received notice that everything was gonna shut down. So.
Don't you mean 9 years ago Thursday? Because it felt like 9 years. The last 12 months.
It did.
We joke, but we're very thankful, and also an incredible job is being done by Clemson University and their staff and all the extra precautions that they're taking for the players and the fans. Just well done across the board.
Yeah, I think almost every school that I have seen, everyone involved is really trying to make it possible.
Yeah, just another ho-hum diving stop by Kinder for the out. Another tremendous defensive play for out number 2.
Another straight out by Tanner.
The left fielder.
Great play. Full extension from her knees over to first base. Like you said, 5 up and 5 down for her so far. And Valerie Cagle steps in.
Yeah, but just to kind of finish that thought, there are a lot of people working behind the scenes to make this season for any sport happen. And so I know sometimes maybe the quality of what you're seeing isn't what you expect. Maybe there's not as many fans that are allowed in the stadium, and that's because of the protocols in place.
Right.
And that's how it has to be for the sport to be played, regardless of what sport it is. So a lot of things going on, folks.
Off-speed pitch caught the outside corner. It's 0-2. So Cagle's done a good job hitting the ball opposite field. She's been rolling over on a lot of the stuff when she tries to pull it. So once she gets that sorted out, watch out. Let's see what she can do here in the hole, 0-2. Did not roll over on that one, just hammers one foul. Still 0-2.
She's seen, from what I can tell, 3 straight change-ups from Tanner, so you can see Tanner's really trying to keep her off balance.
Clemson won the first game 8-0, won the second game earlier today 5-0. And you see our score here, 8-1. This Tiger team ranked 25 in the USA Today NFCA coaches poll. They may rise up the rankings after this weekend if they can close this one out.
And again, this is only year 1.5 for Clemson. So for them to break the rankings this soon in a program start, that's big.
Cagle hits a soft liner over there to Fleming for out number 3. We headed to the top of the 7th. It's been a great day of softball if you're a Clemson Tiger fan. They won game 1 of the doubleheader today, looking to close out game 2 of the doubleheader right now. Logan K-Mall, 1-2-3 inning in the 6th. In just her second appearance of the season. That included a strikeout to end the top of the 6th. Looking to lock this one down for the Tigers in the 7th.
And what I saw from K-Mall in that first inning of hers is, she got progressively better with each hitter that she faced. First hitter, she started out behind in the count, was able to get an out. Second hitter, she was behind, but only by 1 ball, was able to come back and get an out. And then she ended getting ahead and getting the strikeout. So taking steps, getting better.
Misses with the first pitch. Ball 1. Claire Gender at the plate. Made that good defensive play in the top of the inning. This is the fastball, strike one. That had some pop to it.
That did. That was a big cut by Gender as well.
It's popped up. Let's see if it stays in play. Nope, just over the net. And Dean Cox back there feigning injury and death when that ball almost hit him. We see you, Dean. That must have made it over the net by a quarter of an inch, literally straight up in the air and straight down. Oh, Kamal just misses the inside corner. Count even 2-2. Gender has struck out in both plate appearances today. Stays alive. Gender, one of numerous freshmen on this team for the Paladins. Very young team. Gets a piece and stays alive. A nice battle brewing here between Kamal and Gender.
This is a great at-bat by Gender. Kamal still has a ball to play with. I'd like to see if she'll move it out of the zone just a little bit, see if she can get Gender chasing. She tried.
A little too far outside. So full count here. You bringing gasoline here? You going off speed? What are you throwing here, 3-2?
I'm going with my best pitch. What do I feel the most comfortable today? It seems like it's been fastball inside.
Exactly what it was, and Gender stays alive. Looks like part of her routine, you've been talking about that with players today, is firing that ball into her glove.
Absolutely. Sometimes you're just kind of getting the feel of the spin you need. Sometimes you're getting a little frustration out.
She's got that little hip turn as well before she offers to the plate, but Gender gets away from her. That's the first walk for Kamal. We'll bring Caitlin Laudick to the plate. Not a whole lot of Paladin hitters have even reached base today or in this series, but Laudick's had a single and a walk today. And an RBI to boot, the only run of the series for the Paladins. Swung on and missed, strike two. Good fastball there.
And that looked like it was climbing a little bit up in the zone. I like how Kamal, she walked Gender before, and now looks like she's bearing down, coming right at Laudick. That's what you want to see from a pitcher. You want to see how they're going to rebound. There are going to be mistakes made, but how do you come back?
You just got to wipe that mind after every pitch, right?
Absolutely. So when you walk a hitter, you know that you just gave them a free pass, but you've got to reset. You don't have time to keep focusing on that. So a lot of times a deep breath, stare at a good spot. She did a good job coming back there. I told you she was bearing down.
Strikeout number 2 for Logan Kamal. Right on the outside corner. A good pitch. This Tiger team over the course of this season needs Logan Kamal to return to her 2020 form, and you're starting to see some glimpses of it here in this outing from her today. Shelby Basso, who was the starting pitcher, has a walk and 2 plate appearances. Misses inside, 1-1. Crowd in the dugout still staying very lively. This is low, 2-1. Gender over at first base does have a couple of stolen bases. I cannot imagine she's going to be running in this situation, but you never know. Good pitch there, evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, and you can see that Kamal she's not there yet, because I can see the fight in her. When she throws a ball, she doesn't like it. Like, she walked the leadoff hitter, and she came back harder and threw 4 straight strikes because we had some fouled off.
Line drive to third base, throw back to first. That would have ended the ball game if it would have gotten there a half beat sooner, but a good play by Logaleo for out number 2.
Yeah, good touch by Basso there. Logaleo was just right in the spot where she needed to be.
She got back in there, but not by much. Keller did a good job of hustling over there to take that throw. But out number 2, so the Furman Paladins are down to their final out of this series.
Yeah, so Ginder actually was a pretty good, I like where she was. I mean, ideally you're trying to be aggressive enough so that you're within a step plus a dive back, which is exactly what she did. You want them to throw the ball, because then in that situation, you know you're going to be able to get back. If they throw the ball and there's an error on the throw or the catch, then you've got an opportunity to advance.
First pitch to Amanda Fleming, right in there for strike 1.
Yeah, so just to kind of finish my thought on Kamal, she just looks like she's just not there yet. And I think that's something that people have to remember, that there are going to be a lot of athletes that kind of go up and down this year because of the things that they have to go through with protocols and even just the late start. And that doesn't go for athletes. That also goes for coaches.
Yep. And
that goes for umpires. You have to think these umpires, many of them didn't see a live pitch until maybe a week or 2 before games started. So it's a trickle-down effect.
Delayed strike call, but she'll take it. 1-2. So Paladins now down to their final strike as Logan Kamal is trying to close the door on this game and on this series and complete a 13-game winning streak for this Tiger team. Pitch to Fleming, fouled away. We'll do it again. "21 runs in 3 games for the Tigers, 1 run in 3 games for Furman." A dominant performance from this Tiger team this weekend. Another foul ball. Fleming hanging tough. She has struck out and reached on an error in her 2 plate appearances. She also got some time on the field with her sister Chrissy, who came onto the field as a pinch runner her last time up in the 5th inning.
I really like the fight I see from Fleming.
Right in there for strike 3. So strikeout number 3 for Logan Kamal closes the door on the Furman Paladins. What an impressive performance, Megan, from this Clemson team.
Yeah, Clemson came out firing pretty much on all cylinders. I really like how they were able to get several of their pitchers in to get that experience. The defense across the board, both sides of the plate, was just phenomenal today.
9 of the outs via strikeout for the Clemson pitching staff between Cagle, Whitfield, and Kamal did a fantastic job. So that completes the sweep of the Paladins' 13th win in a row. For the Tigers, some fantastic defensive plays, including that one from Abby Stewart. Valerie Cagle gets her 10th win of the season to lead the ACC. Home runs from Ansley Gilstrap, Abby Stewart, and Aaliyah Logaleo for the Tigers. So for Dr. Megan Bunning, the all-star crew behind the scenes here, Tigers win it 8-1. I'm Mark Childress. We'll see you soon.